logic over emotions. We got to start, fellas, we got to start putting our logic over emotions. We have to start leading with our logic and the things that make sense, right? As men, myself included, right, tend to get caught up in our emotions and make decisions based, I don't do it as much as I used to, you know, and I've never been a guy who always moved on my emotions and made emotional decisions. That ain't never really been me, but I done been caught up. I done been in love and all this old shit. Or I done been fucking hurt, and you make decisions on that. You make decisions based on that. You deal with women based on your vulnerability. You see what I'm saying? Or you make decisions because you clouded by love, and so you make a decision that that's not only costly, but you make permanent, lasting decisions because you in the heat of love. You see what I'm saying? And things is going good, and it just feels good to make decisions. We got to stop doing that. As men, you got to stop doing that. Use your logic, right? You got to start using your brain. You got to start using your brain to make decisions. It's some real game. Check this out. Peep game. You probably ain't gonna hear this type of game nowhere because most of these dudes ain't me. That's a pop collar moment. That's a toot my own horn moment. But it is what it is. Some real game. Check this out. Peep game. Write this down, guys. And this is a key right here. Emotions, right, emotions are a consequence or a reward to the things that you do. Emotions are a consequence or a reward for your actions or your words, right? The things that you're doing, the work you putting in or the work you ain't putting in or the things that you're saying or the things that you're not saying. Your emotions are a consequence or a reward for that, right? Your emotions are not a guide. It's not a life guide. It's a reward or a consequences for the way that you live in your life. You're not supposed to use your emotions as a guide. That is a major key. And when you, especially my young guys, apply that to your life and you watch how your life, you won't be in as much bullshit. I'm going to say that again. Emotions are a consequence or a reward to the things that you do, your actions, or the way that you live in your life. It's not a life guide. Always remember that, right? And another thing, relationships based on emotions alone, they just don't work. They don't work. Oh, the attraction is there. It feels so good. When you try to establish any type of relation on feel good, it ain't gonna never work out, especially if you're trying to sustain something long term. So when you building relationships just off emotions alone, it ain't gonna work out. The shit gotta make sense on paper too. It gotta make sense on paper. You gotta be compatible. It gotta make sense, right? She gotta be respectful. It just has to make sense. Everything have to align, not just emotionally. See, y'all be only looking for emotional chemistry and shit. And I used to get caught up in that too. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I need her to be feminine and submissive, and because it feels fuck all that. And I'm not telling you to negate that or deny yourself that, but it has to make sense too. It has to make sense too, or it's not gonna last. You see what I'm saying? I know it feels good. I know the coochie feel good. I know she tell you she love you, it feel good. I know she rub your head, it feel good, and it's all stars and chemistry and all that shit. I know that shit feel good, but that shit, when you with somebody, you living with somebody, that shit wear off sometimes. Now when that shit wear off, what you got? You see what I'm saying? Now what you got? That shit ain't gonna always be there. And if there's a propensity to, one thing I learned too, when there's fiery emotions, there's negative emotions. Like I never understood. There was a movie called A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. It used to be a movie back in the day with Martin Lawrence called Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Basically, guy was, Martin played this guy, this player type of dude, and just playing with, basically a woman's, got a woman in her feelings, got her scorn, a woman that was all in love with her. And it's basically saying that, love can turn into hate real fast. And I never understood that as a kid. Like I used to always wonder, like, what does that mean? growing up and maturing, I understand what that means. So what I'm saying is, when you all them passionate feelings and all that shit, there's a thin line between that and a bitch despising you. It's a very thin line. It's a switch, and that can turn from high to low very fast. A lot of you guys prioritize that and don't realize that there's another side to that. That's why me personally, I try to prioritize, like, although I like the feel good shit, but I try to look for things that's a lot more stable. You see what I'm saying? Instead of all this emotional thrill and emotional excitement, because that turned to hate real quick. Hey, when that goes sour, when shit like that go bad, it be really bad. When it's super intense and super passionate, when things go bad, they tend to be very bad. So that's the thin line between love and hate concept. But you know, I know it feels good and all that shit. I know it's passionate and all that, but, you know, does it make sense to be with her? Does it make sense as well? Right? Does it align? Does it align with you? Do you guys have the same values? Are you guys compatible? You see what I'm saying? Are you guys compatible? Are you guys compatible emotionally? Not just like, oh, well, she's an introvert, I'm an introvert, but are you guys compatible emotionally? You know, you may be a little bit more emotional needy than she is. Can she handle that? See, that's making sense. If you guys don't have that, y'all ain't gonna have shit. That love gonna turn into hate real fast. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, feel good, bro. But she got cheater tendencies. She make you feel good, but she talking to her ex. She make you feel good, but she post provocative pictures. She make you feel good, but she used to be a stripper. She make you feel good, but she used to have an OnlyFans account. She make you feel good, but she smoke weed every day because she can't deal with her bullshit. She make you feel good, but she got a shitty relationship with her mom, and so that shows up in y'all relationship when she get angry. She disrespectful and shit. So the shit gotta make sense, bro. The shit gotta make sense, you know. But that's logic over emotions, fellas. We gotta start moving based on that. We gotta start building our foundations with these principles. So